All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again, man. Got this video here from TMZ. Says, Diddy's connection to the Epstein files exposed. Shocking discovery. That's what the title of that video says, or this video. Just trying to brace myself. What type of new information is about to come out? We ain't gonna waste no more time. Oh, just know that if certain words are being used, I'm going to have to trim them out. The original video will be in the description. We ain't going to waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
The person our producer talked to at the White House tried to throw us off the scent. We're on camera, so be careful.
Oh, hold on.
What I'm about to say might disgust you, but this week it looked like there was a real connection forming between Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein. Now, we know people, real people, who have seen those files. We've spoken to people connected to both cases, and what we know is as dangerous as it is disturbing. Now, I'm going to be honest with you.
So legally, they can't say what they know, but they obviously know something. That's why I think they've been doing a lot of videos on this. But man, I'm telling you.
We can't reveal everything we know, not just yet. What we can tell you is just enough to show you how deep this thing goes and why this story isn't going away. So stick around, because what you're about to see is straight from the inside. So people like Attorney General Pam Bondi were flaunting around the Epstein files in February of this year. You even had people like Kash Patel, who has been deeply embedded in Trump's orbit, saying that Jeffrey Epstein didn't confide and that the files are indeed real. But our sources, and yes, we're deeply connected inside the White House, have a very different story to tell than the one that's being told to the public.
I am fascinated by this because Patel and Bongino were leading the conspiracy theories about Epstein's death and whether there was a client list. I never thought they would do a flip, but it sounds like they almost have, and they're on board with the notion that it was inside and there's no list.
Well, very much so. The Department of Justice, with the sign-off of the FBI, released a statement and a memo. Axios first reported it, saying there was no client list. And
now, during all of this, Diddy had been convicted on 2 counts of the Mann Act. We got word from insiders at the White House that Donald Trump was seriously considering pardoning Diddy. Roll the clip.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal. President Trump is seriously considering.
Okay, so it seems like what they're doing is kind of taking you back, just for those who, it's like a step-by-step. Because I've already heard all this. This stuff so far isn't news to me. But I think it's good to just show you like what happened from the beginning, as far as them saying we have the files to what's going on now. Hopefully this ain't no clickbait.
Pardoning Diddy. And we know this. We have sources with direct knowledge that people from the White House have been in communication with the defense team, Diddy's defense team, and that Trump is seriously considering it, and this is going to be timed to the judge's decision on whether Diddy gets bail.
This would be the ultimate smokescreen, and we've seen for weeks some very major smokescreens, but this one would have to take the cake.
And on the surface, this link kind of starts to make sense, right? 2 men, both accused in high-profile scandals, both convinced they were being unfairly targeted, and both using the media to frame themselves as victims. But then everything shifted. Diddy was denied bail. After that, Trump came out and said that he once got along with Diddy very well, but he was leaning towards not pardoning Diddy because Diddy was, quote, very hostile to him during the time that Trump was running for office. Roll the clip.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Right.
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something, but he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it's hard, you know, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs,
I would
sounds
say
like.
so.
Okay.
But it seems like Trump isn't out of tactics to distract the public from the Epstein files quite yet. Yesterday,
You know, I would have loved to hear him say something like, you know, I saw that video of what he did to Cassie in the hallway or whatever, and I seen him kicking her and doing all this stuff. There's no way in hell, even though he didn't get charged for that, or was it, you know what I mean? It's just making me think, you know, all the stuff we didn't hear in the trial. You know, there was allegedly on all these tapes, it was supposed to be political figures and stuff like that. It was so much we didn't hear. It just makes you go,
he said this. Roll the clip.
Are you going to build up there? What does that mean?
What do you? More ways to spend my money.
Can you give us another hint?
I will show you. It's just another way to spend my money for the country. Are you considering a second story? Anything I do is financed by me, so it's not distributed. Just like my salary is distributed. Nobody ever mentions that.
Sir, are you going to add another level?
Now, this is where things get even darker. We've got insider information about Ghislaine Maxwell, the woman many believe holds the keys to Epstein's secrets.
I know people who have seen that file.
Right.
And I know that the Justice Department file is not where it's at. The real juicy stuff where people are named is in the civil lawsuits.
Correct.
And they have been redacted. And everybody's got their eye on the Justice Department, but it's not that file. It is the civil lawsuits where they have names of people. And I told you about one guy who went, I mean, I know the detail that he went jet skiing when they're on the island. And it's in that file. And it's redacted. So, anywho, I'm
going to have to cut that out, but they were saying something about a guy who went jet skiing with a child, a young girl, and did some things afterwards. I'll have to trim that out.
I think the Justice Department is we know they're negotiating with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Right. And then she got moved to that
minimum security prison
camp. Yeah.
So everybody's wondering, what's the next play? Is it a pardon? I don't think it's a pardon. You know what I think this is? And again, this is just a hunch. I think they may put her on house arrest.
We even had Jeffrey Epstein's former defense attorney, Alan Dershowitz, on TMZ Live, and this is what he had to say. Roll the clip.
In any event, she should have her sentence commuted. She should be given total immunity, called before Congress, and she'll tell everything. She knows everything. She made all the reservations. When I had to fly down to represent him in front of the Palm Beach District Attorney's office or in front of the U.S. Attorney's office, she's the one who made the arrangements. She knows who was on his plane. She knows who was innocent. If there were any guilty people, she knows who they are. And if you gave her complete immunity and let her out of prison and made a deal with her, this would solve the problem forever.
So by doing that, you know, I mean, she just recently said, because I seen that they talked about where she said that Trump never did nothing in front of her or something like that that was concerning. And this is coming from someone who's convicted of what she's convicted. Like, if you going to take her word for that? Told y'all they're playing in our face right now. Now, I ain't saying he did anything. I'm just saying if he did, she knows. Just like he's saying. You know what I mean? You over here bumping shoulders with all these people. He's basically saying, like, she knows everything. You know what I mean? So if he did do something, It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all over here hanging out with these people. Like, come on, man. Hey, boy, dirty game.
And now we're hearing whispers that Trump may be offering her a deal in return for information, not just to protect himself, but to possibly use her testimony before Congress as political leverage. Now, all of this raises a few uncomfortable questions. So I'm here with Derek, who's a lawyer here at TMZ. So we had credible info that Trump was seriously considering a pardon for Diddy. Why did he walk that back, do you think?
Because it was a disaster waiting to happen. That's why. Diddy is so radioactive. The one value pardoning Diddy provides for Trump is that it would be the ultimate distraction. He's huge in the news, and Trump really wants people talking about something other than Epstein. So I could see the value of the distraction for him. But everything else, Diddy was against him during the campaign. He's been outspoken against Trump. Trump wants no part of being lenient. He's a law and order guy. His constituents expect people to be punished. The other overlap that I thought he might, maybe tiptoe around was, this is an aggressive prosecutor, just like the aggressive prosecutors that came against me. Diddy and I are birds of a feather. We're like each other in that these aggressive feds come after guys who don't deserve to get in trouble. But there's no upside for him. Ultimately, Trump is a transactional guy. He will pardon people when there's something in it for him. If Diddy now bends the knee and says and pleads, sort of his loyalty to Trump, maybe, because that's how Trump operates. But absent that, I don't see him doing it.
Speaking of Trump being a transactional guy, how could Trump use Ghislaine Maxwell's testimony before Congress as political leverage?
That is the most interesting one. It's very dangerous for him to get in bed with Ghislaine Maxwell. He wants all the Trump stuff to go. He wants all the Epstein stuff to go away, right? That's his main motivation, is he doesn't want his name mentioned with Epstein in the same sentence because that is hurting him and it's fracturing his party and his base. So he's nervous about it. But he could use Ghislaine as someone who says, I know everything there is to know about Jeffrey Epstein and you weren't part of anything bad, because she's the most credible person to say that. The problem for Trump, he's transactional. People know this about him, and they will think Ghislaine is transactional and only saying Trump is not involved because Trump has sort of given her something as part of a deal. So they won't really believe it. Even though she's the most credible person to say it, they won't believe it because it will seem like part of a deal he has with her to keep his name out of it.
The problem with a lot of people that I see that support him is it don't matter. In their eyes, he can do no wrong because they're so brainwashed. And what I mean by that is, like, to a lot of people, it's obvious what's going on. It's obvious, and I hear a lot of talk about the victims. Let me just say this, because they were like, forget about Ghislaine Maxwell speaking out. What about the victims? The victims should speak out. I'm gonna just say this. Let's say it's just hard to trust people. All right, it's extremely hard when you have some very damning, crucial information. I feel like if they were to try to speak out, they wouldn't make it. I mean, you look at what happened to the Virginia girl. I just feel like a lot of people may have been paid off, not the victims themselves. Like, think about, because it's alleged that a lot of these girls were young. So you say to yourself, where are the parents? I'm telling you, man, just like in the industry, when you seen what was happening with all that Nickelodeon stuff, a lot of these kids' parents will take that money and keep them quiet. They're rich, the kids are screwed. That's just how I go. When people come out and say, I'm about to write a tell-all book, and all of a sudden this person dies. So a lot of the victims that probably want to speak out, or they've probably been coached on to not say something. But a lot of them that want to speak out, all of a sudden, things happen. It's very, very, very dangerous. But what he's saying is so true. But it's right in our face. But it's a lot of people who aren't believing it because they're brainwashed.
So he's in a real pickle.
Now, this one's heavy, but I'd like you to ask as honestly as you can. In your opinion, do you think the US government could be incentivizing Ghislaine Maxwell to clear Trump's name?
It's a heavy one. That is a heavy one. I think the way he is running the government, and he is, as in my personal opinion, he's pretty autocratic. He's centralized power in a very real way that we haven't seen in our republic in a long time. He is sort of consolidated, has a bunch of bootlickers around him, for lack of a better word, people who are just loyal to him. Yes, I could see that. I could see him mobilizing the forces that he needs because he's put around in positions of power people who are only loyal to him. They're not loyal to the Republic necessarily. They are loyal to Trump. And if he wants something done because he's put those people in positions of authority, I think he could. I think he could incentivize her to clear his name and potentially get away with it and have the cover of the people around him.
Guys, my name is Jackson Buhai. Thank you for watching this video.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I've been trying to say. You know, I feel so dumb for thinking it was. I had some hope as far as, when they were like, "Oh, she wants immunity to and she's going to talk." I just feel like, because before, I was just talking about like how I do believe both sides are involved in some dark shadiness. But by her, she already said it. She didn't witness Trump do anything concerning. That right there. So now all you got to do is follow what's going on. You know what I mean? She's already been put in a nicer prison. If they put this woman on house arrest, that's it. That is it. I already made that video talking about it's over. Because whatever list we get or information we get, maybe there will be some names on there. It's probably going to be people you ain't even heard of, didn't even know existed. But it probably will be some names that you know. But right now, I feel like, and again, it's alleged because I don't know if it's true or not. If he did anything, if he, took, just trying to choose my words carefully. But I feel like his name is cleared because the one person that has all the information that could have exposed it all is only going to expose who they want her to. And yeah, it's over. It's over. But like I said, if you can read in between the lines, and if you got a brain, her not telling the truth is the truth. Appreciate y'all coming over. So much corruption, man. You feel real bad for the victims because it's like their truth will never be heard. I think they will wipe them out before they could say anything. Birds of a feather flock together. Wow. All right. Peace out.